So we're going to talk about councillor inaction and suppression by CEO Susan Priest, the Chief Executive of Folkestone Council, which you might want to look her up, actually. And what I did is, obviously I knew there was a major issue going on here, and my complaints were getting closed down by the complaints department, and I was basically being circulated around. So, you know, go to the Ombudsman or put in a complaint, goes to level 2, the level 2 gets closed, we're not going to look at that anymore, we close it down, go to the Ombudsman, and it's just circularity. You get nowhere. So how can you have a effective complaint system when the department you complain about reviews the complaint and just closes it? It's just not right what's going on there. I got one email ever from Susan Priest, who said she would get back to me the next week, and obviously she didn't. But she controls it from the back end. Now there's a lot I know about her. There's a lot of things I know, and people tell me a lot of things, and there's a lot more than they think I know about what's going on in the council. And I'm a web developer, okay? And you know, setting up technical things is not overly difficult for me, and tracking things is not overly difficult for me either. And I sent every councillor a copy of a legal report. Nothing harassment, every councillor sent it. And what would happen was I'd have a domain, and within a day, that domain would be blocked. So I'll test that domain, I'll test that email. You know, so say you have like info@abc.com, okay? They would block that. Initially, they blocked the email, so they blocked info@, so I just turned it to, I don't know, Murray or Barry or whatever, you know. And they kept blocking those, and then they wised up a little bit, so they started blocking the domain. So they blocked 123.com. So then what I would do, I'd get hundreds of domains. I'd set up another domain, and then I'd email the councillors. And I know when the councillor has read that email. I know when they've received that email. I can track all these sort of stuff. So I know that every single councillor has got the information. Every single councillor knows they are breaching the housing law. And yet, what I found, what they were doing is, as I started to do that, I started to get legal letters threatening me, saying, no, you can't do this, you can't do it. This is harassment. No, it's not. It's absolutely not. I've got a completely legal, democratic right to contact councillors. You cannot influence this. It is illegal for a CEO who is not above councillors. A CEO of a council is below councillors, okay? And what she is doing is she's acting above the councillors, and she's telling the councillors not to contact me. Now, she has spoken, or was going to speak to councillors privately and say that they're not to contact me. Completely illegal to do that. How is this allowed to be going on in a council? How is this, you know, in the shadows, allowed to be happening? You know, at least this is not right at all. And you think about me now, I'm very persistent. I will not give up. It doesn't matter if it's 2 years' time. I will not give up. I will continue to do this. I'm just like that. I know there's, you know, serious wrong going on. Serious wrong going here. And if they try and close me down and they will not take my complaints seriously, what are they doing to everyone else's? There's not going to be many people who will do what I do. So you think, you know, 95% of people, what are they doing to them as well? So this is why I'll continue on this campaign. I will make sure that she's brought to account what she's doing. And I had on a Friday, I remember on a Friday night, I sent an email, a new domain, brand new domain, sent the email. Within half an hour, that domain was blocked. Okay, so I sent another domain, and then within half an hour, that's on a Friday night. So obviously it's not her sat at a computer, she's obviously got the IT department. But the IT department, you need to be speaking up about this. You need to be, you have a whistleblowing policy. You need to be speaking to about this and speaking out what's going on in the council, because this is not right, what's happening. You cannot have a CEO having control and making councillors and the MPs scared to speak up about the council. She is not above you. You are above her as the councillors. The CEO answers to councillors. She does not control you. But at the moment, you are all being controlled. You are scared of her. I've seen her in the meetings. I went to the full council meeting. She walks around. Her presence, I can see what her presence is and what it does to people. Okay, and that's not right. It should not be like that. I'm not intimidated by her at all, but she won't meet with me. She sent me one email, and then after that, she's ignored me. So, but that will change shortly. But she needs to. It's disgraceful what's happening. They need to call a motion, I think, to look into her conduct. And the councillors. I mean, how can the councillors be so spineless to do this and not call this out? Rebecca Shube, head of housing and homelessness. Look at her reply on YouTube at the video I asked at the full council meeting. Look how nonchalant, how dismissive her reply is to me. I knew it. She just basically said go through the formal routes, formal complaints procedure. Well, I've been through those, and you closed them. So, we're going through the local council ombudsman, but it's going to take several months to do as well. So, the whole system is something seriously wrong with this council. I can smell it a mile away, and I will come to the bottom of it. I'm going to expose exactly what's going on in this council. And I don't care about your legal fetch at all. So I highly advise you to look at the housing enforcement policy if you understand how to read those. Have a look at the cabinet reports that David Blaskovich introduced to the cabinet to the council. There's something seriously going wrong in that council, and this is just one area that I'm exposing here. There's many more areas as well on here. So this is, the fight will continue. I will not give up. If it takes me 2 years, I'll continue to do it. I'm not interested. I'm not trying to do any other areas. I'm just focusing on housing at the moment. That's it. Not at the moment. That's it. I'm only focusing on housing. That's all I want to do. I'll speak to them and gets resolved. But the way they're acting is totally disgraceful. Council should not be doing this. It should not be a cover-up like this. And the amount of people whose lives are being wrecked by the council because of what their negligence and what they're doing to people, it cannot go on. That's why I will not give up on this at all.